Hello, friends. Today is another day and another realization. And what came up to share with you today was the program that we as humans often have to be looking for what's wrong, or looking for a problem, or looking for an issue, and then becoming focused on that. And this came up for me because I'm very in tune with other people, and I could feel someone else going through this. And I checked in with myself, and I realized that I hadn't done that today. And so I was very thankful for that, for my progress, because I used to always be doing that as well. And it's nothing bad, it's just an experience. But life is so much better, and by better I mean more enjoyable, when we are present and enjoying the reality, rather than spending every waking hour becoming focused on some sort of perceived problem or issue. And as we've gone through in other videos, that there are no problems. Everything is an opportunity for growth. There are no issues. Everything is helping us in some way. And there's nothing wrong, because we are creating our entire reality to gently nudge us back to operating as our true self in this world. Yet, of course, we can have compassion for our fellow humans, because if one isn't aware of this, it's very easy to get locked into these programs. And locked isn't a very good word, because we're never locked in, but it feels like that. But no one is ever locked into a program. We all have the power to rise above and release any and every single program that we ever took on. And so as I was thinking of this, I was also thinking of it, how it relates to manifestation. Because when one is always in their head, focused on what they deem are problems, or what is wrong, or what's an issue, that doesn't feel good, does it? So because they're not feeling good, they're not in alignment. And when we're not feeling good, we're in resistance of some sort. And of course, if we perceive something as a problem in our life, there'll be resistance towards that. And that's why it's so completely game-changing to see everything as benefiting us. Yet if one is seeing everything or many things as problems, then they're in a resistant state. And in a resistant state, they just get more of the same problem, more of the same thing they deem as wrong, more of the same issue. It's just because they're focused on it and feeling in that way, they just get more of it. Yet when we pull ourselves out of that and we focus on what we do prefer, what does make us feel good, we are in an aligned state. And when we feel good, we are in an allowing state, meaning we are allowing the energy. We are allowing healing, allowing manifestations, allowing the new to come into our life, allowing the guidance, the inspiration, all of that. So being in an allowing state is the bomb. It is, it's so good. Like today, I had no idea what I was going to talk about today. And I just decided to not even think about it, and to just do what lights me up, do what I was excited to do, and trust that in that state I would receive something to share. And I did, and here we are. So it's just a little example of how that works. Yet I was given an analogy today to share with you. It's like I'm set. It's like we're got the T-ball set up. I given you the baseball bat. I got the T-ball thing up for you. I put the little ball on the tee for you. It's all ready, but you gotta hit the ball. So I can share all these things, but it's up to you to experience, to experiment, and to see what works for you. And to just feel the feeling of hitting that ball off the tee. Oh yeah. So, and you know it's going to be good. So that was a little analogy coming through just to remind us that when we take in information that resonates, to integrate it. And to integrate it, a part of that is putting it into practice and seeing how it works for us, and seeing how that changes things for us, and experiencing all of these benefits, all of these wonderful things, because we can intellectually know all about it, but until we've actually taken the baseball bat and hit the ball off the tee, we won't know how it actually feels like. And that's what all this stuff is about. It's about how it feels, because how do we know we are in alignment? Is by how it feels. It feels good. It feels expansive. It feels free. It feels peaceful. It feels joyful. So that is why this came up, and just a little reminder, and I have done this too. It's easy to get watching different videos and taking all this information, but if we want to see the results, it's up to us to put it into practice. It's up to us to hit the home run and to feel how that feels. So yeah, I've made some notes today because ended up receiving quite a lot of things. So I'm just going to check in on what is the next thing. So yeah, it was that as we heal, as we continue on our path, it becomes easier and easier to focus. I have noticed this so much on my journey. I seem to, in the past, have a real difficulty with focusing on what I preferred. And this ties into what we were just talking about. I would be focusing on what I perceived as wrong, or a problem, or an issue, or anything like that, or creating catastrophic thoughts, or worrying, or being concerned over things, all this stuff. And so, but as I've been healing, as I've been continuing on my path, just chipping away a little bit each day, it gets easier and easier. And so I feel that Spirit wanted me to share this with you as an encouragement to keep going, and it will get easier. It does get easier. And there are distractions aplenty, but that's how it's meant to be, because that's helping us with our focus. It's helping us to hone our focus. It's helping us to really dial it in. Because again, this has manifestation implications. When we are dialed in on what we prefer and we're feeling good about it, or any sort of loving emotion, loving feeling that is in alignment, wow, we are going to be attracting that. We are going to be adding that to our timeline, that or something better for us. And so then we're going to experience something new rather than getting the same old thing again and again from a resistant state. We'll be actually allowing these dreams to unfold naturally for us. And this doesn't have to be something huge and and stuff. A dream could be anything to taste a fruit that you haven't tasted and that you've wanted to taste, and it just so happens you go to the grocery store and there it is, and it's on sale, and it looks so good, and you're so excited, and then you eat it and it's so delicious. This is a dream come true. And it's just one example, but when we get dialed in like this, it's like everything feels like a miracle. And because we are able to see that we were the ones that had influence over our reality. Of course, we are the creator of our reality, but everything is a co-creation. And so by influence, I'm meaning that when we add this to the field, when we put that out there, our reality configures to make it so somehow, to put it in there. And then when we experience, it is like bliss. It is so exciting. And it can be small things, and it can be big things as well. And I have experienced both, and all things in the spectrum. So I would say just be open and let go of any attachments, and keep focusing on what is preferred. And when something that is not preferred comes up, that's also showing us potentially, oh, there's a belief I can let go of. Oh, there's an old pattern that I can shift out of. Oh, there's some programming. I'm going to go and deconstruct that and replace it with my higher self perspective, and then I'll be on a whole new level. So it's all assisting us. Just this simple intention we can set right now. We can intend that we focus on what we prefer, that a lot of stuff will come up that we'll be able to heal and integrate along the way. So, well, the benefits keep piling up, and that's a beautiful thing. And speaking of focus, the third thing Spirit brought up for me to speak to you about today was kind of interesting. I looked down because I noticed a bug bite on my foot a couple of days ago. And I noticed it as I was drifting off to sleep because I was itching my foot, and I'm not an itcher kind of person. I know a lot of people, when they get a bug bite or something, they itch. I've never been a scratcher. I've never been an itcher. Yet with this one, I don't know what that little bug did, but that is an itchy one. And I realized, I finally understood people's insatiable need to scratch the itch, because I found myself scratching there, and then I realized what I was doing. I was like, okay, stop, let it go. And then the next day I asked Spirit, is this gonna heal for me, or do I need to see a doctor, medical assistance? And Spirit let me know that this one will heal fine. Yet sometimes we may be guided to go to medical assistance. So, of course, stay open to everything. You never know when we're gonna be, like, some things happen in our life just so we'll meet other people, or that we have light codes that maybe some nurse requires, and that's how the reality sets up, that some little thing happens to us and we end up seeing this nurse or someone, and we deliver the light codes. Our human self isn't typically aware of this, but as we gain in sensitivity, as we move forward on our journey, we do start noticing this, as I have. And so all I'm saying is that there could be so many purposes to different things happening in our lives. But with this bug bite, I saw the purpose as having trust and faith that it would heal. And Spirit let me know it would heal in about a week and a half, be completely back to normal. And so I thought, okay, cool. I can just forget about it now. And I saw the purpose as a little teaching aid for me to have trust and faith in that. And then last night I go to bed, and the interesting thing is this bite, it gets so itchy right as I'm going to bed. I don't know what this is. I wake up in the morning, it doesn't itch. I go through the day, there's no itch. But when I'm going to bed, it gets like crazy itchy. And so last night I got so itchy, and I'm like, because I didn't want to touch it, I'm rubbing my foot on the side of the bed to kind of like get that scratch kind of feeling. I'm just like rubbing my foot in different places, trying to find some relief. And then it dawned on me to use my focus. And I just focused on a new interest of mine, something I've been getting into, and literally the itch vanished. And I was blown away by the power of the mind. And then I realized another purpose in this bug bite was to show me this power of my focus and how it relates to the physical body, because that just happened in the mind. When I was focused on the itchiness, it was just it got even more intense, and I just needed to scratch it, but I didn't want to scratch it, and on and on. Yet when I shifted my focus, at first I shifted my focus to the other foot and how that one felt. And of course there's no bug bite there, and so it felt completely fine. And that worked as well. Yet I was amazed that I could just focus on something completely different, a new interest of mine, and an interest, they light us up. We get excited when we think about them. And so it's very easy to pour our whole focus into this, an interest of ours, whether that's a sport, a hobby, art, any sort of interest. And so when I put my mind into this interest and started imagining the things I could do, there was literally no itch. Yet as soon as I focused back on the foot, on the itch, it itched like crazy. So this was showing me the power of the mind and the power of our focus. And think about that. If our focus is that powerful on our physical body, think about how it is to the field. Think of how it is for our reality creation. And so perhaps this also gives you a couple tools that you can use. And so that is another purpose, of course, that I can share this. And a part of me also thought, oh, I could biodecode this and see what that's saying, because it's on the right foot, and the foot means this and that, and etc. And the other thing about like what actually bit me, because that would have a message. But that wasn't the purpose of this. But that might be the purpose of someone else's bite. The purpose, the information could be in what bit them or in where it happened. And so this whole example also came up to share about how these mirrors, how our reality is helping us, yet we have to take everything on a case-by-case basis. Because I have had bug bites that let me know, because of what bug it was, there was a spiritual message associated with that. But that's not the case with this one. I immediately, when I saw this one, I knew it came up from within me that it was about trust and faith. And then I realized it was also about this focus piece. Yet something may happen to another person that is about biodecoding, and it's a part of their body letting them know something, or that specific animal is letting them know. So it all depends on the exact case, because for the same person, they could experience something in different times, and there could be also a different purpose to the same thing happening. So it's a lesson to urge us to look at everything in our lives on a case-by-case basis and trust our inner guidance completely about it. There's not like some sort of manual saying, if this happens, then this is why. There are so many reasons, yet it is up to us to go within and to trust that what we're receiving is the purpose for us. And there was a one more little thing coming up about this, so I'm just going to check. Oh yeah, that today I noticed that before I went out, I noticed I was a bit concerned about getting another bug bite because I've been so itchy the last couple of days. Just before I go to bed, it's so weird. It's just before I go to bed. Yet it's enough. It's very unpreferred, but you can see there's lots of purposes and benefits for me and for you because I'm sharing this. And so, yet it's, yeah, I don't want it to happen again. And I noticed myself getting concerned, and I asked Spirit, is this going to happen again? Or is this am I going to have some sort of bug bite today? And it's so interesting because this brought up this whole thing about when something happens to us, we get overly like protective of ourselves from it happening again, because we don't want to have to go through that experience again. And Spirit let me know that, no, you're not going to get a bite today. Go out, have fun. It's all good. And so there comes back the trust and faith part that initially came through, that this bite was teaching me, and I could see that repeat. So we can see when these purposes repeat, that also gives us confirmation that we've dialed in to what something is actually sharing with us. And you'll know, and the more we progress on our journeys, the easier it is to know and to trust that knowing. And so it's trusting in that as well, and keeping moving forward. And when we see the reality as everything benefiting us, I could even, the first thing I thought of when I saw this bite was gratitude. And that would probably not be the most common response to getting a big itchy bug bite, was gratitude. But I have learned that we can be grateful for everything in our lives because everything is benefiting us. Everything has a purpose, yet it is up to us to decipher the messages, to find the meaning, and to take the benefits, the opportunities for growth. And so that is also my intention for you, that this video inspires you to take these opportunities for growth, to find more benefits in unpreferred things. Because who knew how much goodness would come from this itchy bite? I definitely didn't, but now that I've been speaking about it, I'm just so thankful that it happened. Yet I don't want it to happen again. But Spirit let me know that it wouldn't. So then I can, again, have trust and faith in that and just relax and know that it will slowly fade away. And in a couple weeks, it'll just be a distant memory. And so yeah, that's another thing, that life is always changing. And so even though we may think things are so much right now, we can trust that in the future we'll be able to look back and say, oh wow, that wasn't so bad, and that did benefit me, and I am glad that I went through that, because that did enrich my human experience on planet Earth. To have that experience and to take that information, that opportunity for growth, and find myself in a greater level of alignment with my true self. And so I will leave it at that. If you are looking for assistance with potentially biodecoding or decoding messages in your reality, I do offer one-on-one spiritual consultation, and there's more information on the description box and in my website. But yeah, I will let you go, and I'll send you much love and blessings on your path, and wishing you a glorious day today.